10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. Affectionate Arms is a local nonprofit organization that serves the elderly and disabled community here in the Crossroads. Many may not even be aware something like this is offered here, and the center needs the community's help to keep its doors opened. I stopped by their center to get a closer look at how exactly they help out our community and the importance of keeping their doors open. Tucked away at 3802 John Stockbauer here in Victoria, you'll find Affectionate Arms. It's a place for individuals with disabilities and the elderly. And while you may not have heard of it before, it opened in the Crossroads more than 30 years ago. The center's director, Mary Garcia, there since day one.
Just like what the name says, Affectionate Arms, we embrace our clients that come here with love, respect, dignity, and of course with all the services that are so critical to their health.
Affectionate Arms is that bridge when a senior still lives at home but doesn't quite need to go live in a nursing home. Many apprehensive about the thought of leaving home and living full-time in a nursing home.
We need to keep them out of the nursing home as long as possible. By coming here, they're able to meet all their critical needs, such as meals, medical activities, interaction.
With things like nutritious meals, games, activities, medical staff on hand, and mental stimulation, Affectionate Arms allows its clients to socialize and keep their minds sharp, something that can help curb elderly depression. Otherwise, many clients would be stuck at home with no social interaction.
Once they get depressed, they lose interest in life. They really don't have really nothing to do but look at the four walls, or they either have the TV as entertainment or a companion, really, because that's all they have.
Affectionate Arms is licensed to serve 59 clients and at its peak served up to 40 clients. But Hurricane Harvey and the COVID-19 pandemic hurt the center. Now they're down to less than 10 clients, which puts the center in jeopardy of closing. They need the public's help with exposure, monetary donations, and even volunteers.
Mother Teresa says, I can do things, you can do things, but together we can do great things. And so that's where the community comes, where people can work together and help us to continue this program that is so vital to the adults and adults that have disabilities.
Garcia invites anyone interested to pop in to see just how important the center is to the people they serve. Affectionate Arms serves its clients Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And Mayor Garcia tells us that while they were closed for 8 months during the pandemic, that her clients would call weekly asking when they would open back up. And we're having what we're calling Affectionate Arms Giving Day, keeping the family together longer, which is scheduled for Friday, March 17th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The 25 News Now team will be live from Affectionate Arms to receive your donations. They need those monetary donations, office supplies, water, games, gift cards, cleaning supplies, and indoor and outdoor plants. Affectionate Arms can be reached at 361-578-9067. Their email address is affectionatearms@sbcglobal.net. We hope you'll join us. As spring break begins, TxDOT reports drunk driving kills one person in Texas every 7 hours and 43 minutes. During spring break of 2021, Texas had over 870 DUI alcohol-related crashes, resulting in 31 deaths and over 100 serious injuries. Tonight was a big night for all you movie fans out there, as it was the Oscars. So our viewer poll this evening, did you tune in to watch the 95th Academy Awards ceremony tonight? Looks like 18% said yes, you watched, and 82% say no, you did not. Thank you for voting, and remember to come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in those daily viewer polls. All right, it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. We're going to go ahead and check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon to see what your week will look like. Howie?
All right, so warm weather today, but then that boundary comes through. Look at this. We haven't been dropping into the 50s for a while. We've been on the hot side, 60s and 70s overnight. 80s during the day. So that front is going to knock us down for a couple days. We're going to have spring-like conditions, or really closer to what we're supposed to be at this time of year. We've been well above average. So on the breezy side, look at these winds around 30 miles per hour. We'll stay breezy for a couple days. This evening we'll be in the 60s, overnight dropping down to 61, but that cooler air is going to continue to move in. We'll talk about our latest cool down coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Howie. Turning now to that boating tragedy in California. At least 8 people are dead after 2 suspected smuggling boats crashed off the San Diego coastline, and the search continues for other possible victims.
Tonight, authorities are searching for victims after 2 small boats capsized off the coast of San Diego that left at least 8 people dead overnight. A Spanish-speaking woman calling 911.
One boat carrying 8 people made it to the beach. One of the occupants of that boat called 911 stating that the other boat with 15 on board.
Authorities are searching for other possible victims, but they say high tides and rough conditions prevented rescuers from easily reaching the scene. Divers forced to wade through the water up to their waists.
It was the fog, surf conditions, pitch black down there.
Authorities saying they don't know how the boats capsized, but suspect they were used for trafficking.
This is one of the worst maritime smuggling tragedies that I can think of in California, certainly here in the city of San Diego.
The 2 motorized boats, known as pangas, are often used in smuggling operations, according to officials.
This is not necessarily people trying to find a better life. This is part of a transnational criminal organization effort to smuggle people into the United States.
The nationalities of the victims are unknown at this hour. Authorities say helicopters will aid in the search. DeMarco Morgan, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Federal officials say they will fully protect money deposited at Silicon Valley banks. Secretary of the Treasury Janet L. Yellen, Federal Reserve Board Chair Jerome H. Powell, and FDIC Chairman Martin J. Gruenberg released a statement today stating that customers will have access to all of their money beginning tomorrow, and, quote, no losses will be borne by taxpayer. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Sunday that the federal government would not bail out Silicon Valley Bank, but is working to help depositors who are concerned about their money. The federal government also announced that it will do the same for Signature Bank in New York, which was closed today by its state chartering authority. All right, grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the free Crossroads Today app, where you can watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts. You can learn about our ongoing contest right there on the app, and you can also submit news tips and photos. Stay with us. Coming up, according to Customs and Border Protection, authorities implemented port hardening measures in El Paso after a large surge of migrants tried to cross.
That cooler air is moving into the area. We're going to see highs a lot different than what we're used to seeing. We're going to talk more about those coming up in just a little bit.
A gruesome discovery.
I asked her, is my dog in your backyard? And she said, yes, he's lying over by the fence.
Your dog was injured.
She was bleeding, not moving.
Was it the neighbor's dogs?
1 husky, 1 Labrador.
Who crossed the line?
I am positive that they got a hold of my dog and drug her underneath the fence.
I'm not as positive as you are.
Next, Judge Judy.
On the red carpet, we are live
Monday morning.
Inside the Dolby Theater.
Live returns to the Oscar stage.
Lights, camera.
For Live's After Oscar show with movie parodies.
I feel the need for speed.
And fashion experts Carson Kressley and Elaine Welteroth. Plus musical guest Jason Mraz.
This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
Tired of your typical clock in, clock out job? You need a rewarding career in an entertaining environment that you'll enjoy. Take yourself out of the box and come to the Victoria Television Group. We have an active, fun, creative atmosphere that can help you succeed and keep those everyday work blues away. Come join our energetic and outgoing sales team. Renew your career and learn to use skills you didn't know you had. Call us 361-575-2500 or email opportunity@victoriatelevision.com for more information.
For months, we've been saying that Fred Loya can save you more money on your car insurance. But just how much more? In recent months, people who switched from Geico and Progressive to Fred Loya Insurance have saved over $1,500 a year. State Farm customers who switched to Fred Loya saved over $1,600 a year. Allstate customers saved over $1,100 a year. That's a combined savings of over $240,000 a year. So start paying less. Call or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save.
Now to the new developments after that train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The NTSB chief saying today that the agency is not satisfied with the new safety goals outlined by Norfolk Southern. That community is still reeling from that toxic spill in February.
Tonight, the head of the NTSB with tough words for embattled train operator Norfolk Southern and its new safety goals.
They are not robust enough. I think we'll be looking at more recommendations as part of our investigation.
The train operator under investigation amid a series of train derailments in recent weeks, including the one in East Palestine, Ohio, and this one in Alabama. Tonight, the NTSB's chairwoman saying more testing and changes are on the way.
In fact, just this week, we will be doing testing of the pressure relief valves that are in charge of releasing pressure of those 5 vinyl chloride tank cars.
Those safety valves, now part of the NTSB's probe into the train derailment and chemical spill in East Palestine, Ohio back in February. Overnight, residents just outside of East Palestine protesting, holding up signs that read, "Norfolk needs to pay."
We're here to tell them that they need to step it up and do the right thing. And Norfolk needs to be held accountable for what they did.
It comes days after senators on Capitol Hill pressed CEO Alan Shaw about paying for long-term damage and caring for the residents.
The CEO of Norfolk Southern will be back on Capitol Hill to testify in a hearing that will focus on rail safety. The NTSB's chairwoman will also be testifying during that March 22nd hearing. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
According to Customs and Border Protection officials, authorities implemented port hardening measures at the Paso del Norte International Bridge around 1:30 today. This happened after a large group of individuals formed on the Mexican side trying to enter the country. As a result, officials deployed physical barriers to restrict entry. As of 5 p.m. today, no traffic is being processed at the Paso del Norte Bridge. Officials also said there was also temporary disruptions at the bridge of the American side and the Stoughton Bridge because of the presence of migrants. According to the El Paso County judge, Mexican authorities are dispersing throughout the area where the migrants are located. The judge said it was about 2,000 migrants around noon, but that number has since decreased to roughly 100 asylum seekers. The judge said most migrants who are attempting to cross over don't want to stay in the shelter because they are targeted. Most of those migrants are Venezuelan males. Authorities say a shooter has remained barricaded in a Valinda, California home for over 40 hours after exchanging gunfire with sheriff's deputies Friday afternoon. A minor and a woman suffered injuries described as mild to moderate. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said the woman was taken to hospital for an injury, although that was not caused by gunfire. Deputies responded to a call about an assault with a deadly weapon, with the gunfire firing rounds at the location. No deputies or residents were injured in the subsequent gunfight, and nearby residents were evacuated and will continue to be evacuated as police remain on the scene.
It's been summer-like, but we're going to get cooled down again for fall, spring-like weather. We'll talk all about that coming up in just a few minutes.
We're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop with Chance the Rapper. It's great to have you with The Voice, but do you think you're gonna win?
There was a bunch of times where we turned. They would give a whole speech about how they love me, but Kelly Clarkson, and then they go to you.
What? That's 2 points for me, 0 for Kelly. You know we love a game. Next, Kelly.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
Gifts, gifts, and more gifts. Come to the homestead and leave with the perfect gift for everyone and every occasion.
This is a meal worth sharing. Right now, get 4 hot and spicy McChicken sandwiches, 20-piece chicken McNuggets, and a basket of fries for $15.99. Only at McDonald's.
Stop the presses! Does she know that's not a real thing anymore? Party!
Wow.
I'm back, baby!
We were the same age.
Yeah, except you got old and you died. I know, super sadsies.
Count me in. That sounds fun.
Okay, great, you do that. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
I'm me. 1, 2, 3, no apologies. I'm me.
Okay, so 84 degrees today, 10 degrees above average. So average is in the mid-70s. We're going to go below average, though, because this cold front coming through the area is going to bring some cooler, dry, sinking air down from the north. We've been as warm as 91 back in 1954. So here's where we're going. We are warm today, 70s, 80s. What's going to happen overnight? We're going to drop down in some spots into the 50s as that cooler air moves down behind that cold front. Look what happens for a good couple days. For about 2-3 days, we cool down, but we'll start to warm up as we get closer to St. Paddy's Day. But then for St. Paddy's Day, another boundary is going to come down, and we're going to cool down again. So 2 cool downs in 1 week after really being around 90 degrees, really on and off since Valentine's Day. Here's our dew points. So that boundary is starting to knock these down, wringing out the moisture. So humidity levels, moisture levels, dew point numbers going down, but they'll start to increase again later in the week. We'll start to see a return flow out of the Gulf. For now, this boundary will start to knock down the moisture content in the atmosphere. So we have this cold front pushing through. We have boundaries, or storms, pushing in from the west. All that movement, that tugging, changing the atmospheric pressure, yeah, that's allowing for our winds to spike up. We're seeing 25, 30 mile per hour wind gusts. We could see over the next several days 15, 20, 25 mile per hour wind gusts. All right, here's our boundary. Here's what's going on. It's pulling through. It's going to continue to push out over the coast this evening. Then the cooler, dry, sinking air is going to pull into the area. And what's that going to? Yeah, it's going to cool down our temperatures. But just like that, more storms are pushing in from the west, even as high pressure comes in to control our atmosphere. So, yeah, we'll have some sun, but we also got some moisture pushing in. It's going to be fighting the high pressure. It's going to be fighting that push-down effect on the atmosphere. So the rain, yeah, maybe a limited number of raindrops coming through the area due to high pressure trying to oppose or trying to ward off that rain, trying to do its thing with those storms. But here you go. Here's our other future tracker showing some showers here and there. But again, you can pretty much count the raindrops coming down. A couple heavy bands of these storms look to move through. So yeah, we could have but look how quickly they move through the area. Just very brief periods of showers, very scattered in nature. Some spots, maybe not even seeing a drop of rain. Here's our marine forecast. So water-wise, 82, but strong wind.